All right. Looks like we are, what is this, 3 for 3 when it comes to streaming every Wednesday? And I was looking back and I realized that, like, oh my god, I'm bringing back Wu-Gi-Oh! Wednesday to any of the people that were, if any of the people that are still here that, you know, used to watch when I was trying to just do like variety streams and stuff like that before I like fully pivoted into Yu-Gi-Oh! Into Rush Duels. Right, we would do like Wu-Gi-Oh! Wednesdays. Wu-Gi-Oh! Wednesdays is when I'd play Yu-Gi-Oh! Or, you know, do something Yu-Gi-Oh! Related. We would like, you know, do some Master Duel and then watch some of the free episodes on YouTube. Usually, I think we were just watching 5Ds at the time. And so, yeah, I mean, that was kind of it. And then all of a sudden, I had the urge to, go into, Yu-Gi-Oh! Content, to specifically Rush Duel stuff, and here we are. And what is this, 2.5 years later, we're still here? Like, it's been an interesting time, interesting period of my life. But regardless, we got some good music going on thanks to good old Mewmore. Momoiro Koi is the creator of this wonderful VTuber model that I'm using, so please go check them out. They're amazing artists, amazing creators of what they do. And yeah, all right, let's jump right into it so we can get through, hopefully we can get through the tier list by the end of the day. We'll see if that's actually possible or not. But if it is, that's great. If it's not, then, I get to milk it out for one more week and then I can figure out what to do after that. Because I mean, if anything, I would just use this time instead of like when I just do random testing on Ito, like just on random nights. I can also use this time to also like duel people and do some testing before I, record for my rush reviews, or I can use the footage that I get here for my rush reviews. Maybe that's also possible. We'll see. Those are just some things that I figure what we can do, because the hardest thing is, the Edo Pro client is not the greatest one to look at. Obviously, if you could just watch everything on like a Master Duel-esque client, then that's a lot easier and a lot more interesting. However, I don't think anyone has done that yet, or if they have, they should, share it with me so I can do it myself. But alas, that is totally fine. Anyway, hello everyone, my name is Protagonist, you can call me Protag, and yeah, we're here with another week of just a stream. If you can't tell from the title, we will be continuing our rankings of all of the Overrush rares that are currently out right now. You can see what we have just offhand right now. However, before we do any of that, we are going to be jumping into just kind of what's been going on in the week of Rush Duels. Usually there's so much of card stuff, there's some other random news and things like that, and so it's always best to, just do a quick search or, refresher of what's been going on, and, if there's anything cool, we get to talk about it here. So, starting off, we have Beacon of the Dark Titan. This is a new trap card that is going to be releasing in the into the new Rush Duel set. Streets are saying that this was a normal monster, or this was a monster that is in the advanced format already, but it didn't really do anything. So it is interesting that it is showing up here as a trap card when it obviously doesn't exist here in Rush. But this obviously isn't the first time they've ever done that, so that's never really an issue. It's just really cool that they decide to bring back some of these really old monsters and repurpose them in their artwork. When your opponent sets a monster from their hand, or a face-up monster on your opponent's field is changed to face-down position, you get to choose a face-down monster on your opponent's field and look at it. If there is a face-up monster on your field with attack equal to or greater than that monster's original attack, then you can destroy that monster that you are looking at. So the obvious implication here, the obvious application, is that you're going to be using this with the that Maiden Abyss worm deck, the one that has a bunch of stuff that allows you to flip your monsters face down, and then they can destroy them or bounce them or do whatever, right? Like, this is a pretty good synergistic trap card that works with them, since you are going to be able to, force your own activation on your turn. However, that is kind of slow, right? So if there's other ways to force things face down, for example, by using cards like, Shiny Shady in tandem, that is another way that you can go about using this card on your opponent's turn. However, like I said, if you're going to use it in the other way, you're most likely going to be, putting this down and then having to wait past your opponent's turn and then use it on your turn to be able to destroy a monster, which can be useful, especially if you're able to clear your opponent's board. However, it is slow. Trap cards are pretty slow, even in Rush Duels, ironically enough, where there are quite a few decks that don't really care about, trap cards. There are some that, their in-theme trap cards are, pretty decent and will be used, but there are a few decks that I've seen running around that have, like, topped event and stuff where their only trap card is Treacherous Trap Hole, right? And it's a legend trap that allows you to destroy 2 monsters as long as you have no other trap cards in your grave, which is very easy to do if you only have 1 trap card. However, it'll depend on, the speed of some of those decks to see whether or not we're going to do this. And yeah, that's really all I have to say about this card. It's very interesting. I will say that this is not this is probably not going to be run a lot of places. Like I said already, the worm deck, that new worm deck that's appearing in here, what is it? It's Clad, I think Clad Dragon, right? I think that's the one that's probably going to be in here, and then that's really the main one that I can see. There's big synergy there. Anyway, let's see. Oh, hello, MC75 Deluxe, welcome back. My tier list progress has been saved. It is still here. I'll be honest, all I did was just, I just left the window open. So when I turned off my computer, it just opened up and it saves, right? Like that's the joyous thing of I don't know, if is it cookies, is it whatever they do over there to make sure that your thing is saved. I'm sure that doesn't happen every time or whatever. I'm thankful that nothing got, too crazy, but yes. There you go. So we have that saved, but we are going to go through all the rest of the tabs before we move on from there. All right, next up, the next jump promo is going to be Magma Dragon. Magma Dragon is going to be a port from the advanced format. And hold on, I have the text for Magma Dragon on my phone, so I'm going to quickly pull that up so that I know what the hell Magma Dragon does. It is funny that we have so many different just dragons. Okay, that's a little bit weird to say, but Magma Dragon, we have like it's a fire. It looks more like a dinosaur than it does a dragon, but it is like an earth dragon with lava, stuff like that, but we also have, all the elemental dragons and everything. Anyway, Magma Dragon. When this card is special summoned, you can target one worm monster in your graveyard except for Magma Dragon. Special summon defense position, but its effects are negated. You can only use one. You cannot special summon monsters of the turn. Activate those effects until word time monster. So obviously that's not what the Rush Duel effect is going to be. It's probably going to be something similar, right? Either this is going to be a free effect since it's a level 4, or at the cost of milling something. Oh, my Edo Pro background is playing. Yeah, then you get to just revive a worm type monster, special summon it in defense position. I don't know about the effect negation, but that could be interesting if they decide to keep that. But yeah, I think this will just allow you to revive a worm, which will be pretty good. A level 4 to bring back something. It's like Phoenix Dragon-esque, just maybe without a cost. We'll have to see. Anti-flip is kind of weird, but okay. I mean, yes, I guess, but it's because we have a new deck that cares about card flipping now. So, there's going to be quite a few cards directed towards, pointed towards there. Did you find the Duel Links Overrush rares? I did, but I haven't added them. I'll do it after we finish the other ones. I'll do them after we finish it. So I totally meant to, but it completely slipped my mind. So, yes, I will add those once we finish the main cards, and then I'll add the whatever copies of the ones that I have, because I assume they don't have, because like the site or the DeviantArt creator that I got these cards from are not. I don't think they follow the Duel Links ones, or if they do, then I just didn't look close enough. But I'll probably just take them from somewhere else. We'll see. All right. Anyway, yeah, I guess it makes sense why it's still a secret, since they haven't really put anything. But it's been a bit since we had like overly good promo cards. I think I thought Book of Life was going to be a good promo card, but that didn't turn out to be the case at all. I don't think there are many. There's like only a few people decide to run Book of Life in their zombie decks. And like, it's either that or it was a side deck option, but like, it's not main decked as much as I thought it would be. But it's still a good card. It's still a very good card for zombies. I think it's just, there's just other things that they wanted to add instead. All right. Moving on. Our second full Overrush rare is Harpy Lady. Now, if you follow me on Twitter, I was surprised, to say the least. I knew that Rush Duels, I knew that Konami really, 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 really loves Harpies for some reason. I could not tell you why that could be the case, but Harpies gets their own full Overrush rare, which I think, I will say, does it feel as full Overrush rare as the other cards? I feel like this is like the least full overrush rare, least full art that we've seen so far for any of the new like full art cards that we have. And I mean, most of it is because we have so much blank space here. Like, design-wise, I understand putting, all of these other, or putting all the other Harpy ladies in here. I get it. It's cool. However, I just don't like that there's just so much empty space here that, it doesn't make sense. It's a normal monster. Your text isn't going to be that much to even cover this space here. It feels a little bit more pandery than all the other Harpy support that they've gotten over the past, 1.5 years. All that empty space at the bottom is definitely for logo space. Yeah. I mean, they could have just shifted the logo over and it would have been fine. It could have been fine. But, yeah, I get it. I get why they decide to do this. I mean, people love the Harpy ladies. There's the Harpy lady Twitter, the Harpy lady fan Twitter account that I tagged. But I feel like they could have done something more here, right? I feel like there could have been something, they could have done something better. I honestly couldn't tell you what. Like, my initial idea was put all the other Harpies, put all the new Harpies, right? All the Rush Duel Harpies, put them into this somehow too, right? If you're gonna separate it by all the Harpy designs, you can put, 3 up here instead of a repeat of 1. And then you can do 3, 2, and then all the other new Harpies at the bottom or something, right? All separated by this shattering, right? I will say this, it's cool that they did this shatter thing of it's breaking the card or breaking the glass, right? Actually, now that I say that, this could just be break glass in case of emergency. Sales are low, break glass, and then boom, new Harpy lady card, right? This is their oh shit, we're not feeling too well, we need something to get the people talking about Rush Duel, so here's a new Harpy lady, let's go. And that could be that's the reason they truly just broke glass in case of emergency. But I don't know, I think this would have been fine anyway. Picture it, the perfect space for an autograph. That could be interesting, right? I know that Riftbound does that, right? In the most recent examples I can think of right now, Riftbound does, autograph stuff, right? They do autographs of the illustrator, which would, it would kill 2 birds with 1 stone, no pun intended. We finally get confirmation on who draws the cards, because one thing that, I really want to see from Yu-Gi-Oh cards is that recognition of who the artist is, because there are a bunch of different people who do these amazing designs, but we have no way of confirming on whether or not they are the actual artist. And obviously you don't want to assume online, because then that's going to bring unwarranted hate or, unwarranted attention to people who might not have done the design, and that's never a good thing either. So yeah, I would like to see something like that too, if they wanted to do a signature style thing and make that a chase card or a chase rarity, because it's already cool that they're doing this. And I'm expecting, after half a year, give or take, that we're probably gonna see, actually, probably by next Jump Festa, we're gonna see stuff like this for the advanced format. But for now, I think this is fine. Actually, I think it might be difficult, right? Now that I think about it, the hardest part about doing it with the full arts, with the normal Yu-Gi-Oh cards, is that there is a lot of text. I don't know if that's going to ruin it for a lot of people, but either way. All right. Moving on. All right, it's hero time with Rising Hero Argent F. So last week I was worried about there not being a fusion monster that requires Argent O as a material, but alas, of course, they would print an actual monster that would meet that requirement. So this requires Rising Hero Argent O and 1 level 8 or lower warrior monster. This can be special summoned or must be special summoned with Rising License or the effect of a trap card. That is interesting to be so specific. You better actually be doing something good. During the main phase that this card was fusion summoned, you can choose a card in your opponent's field and shuffle it into the owner's deck. Then this card gains 500 attack at the end of the turn. Ooh, what? Why? Why do you kind of suck? Why do you kind of suck? Okay, sure. I mean, you have to get Argent O, which is another fusion monster, which requires you to use 2 other monsters for fusion. Then you need to fuse again using 2 specific cards, or 1 specific card and a trap card, which I think there's only like, what, 1 other trap card that lets you do this? 1 or 2, maybe. And then you need another warrior monster, and then all you do is shuffle a card back to your opponent's deck and gain 500 attack. They could have done more with this card to make it powerful. I don't like how weak this feels, but I have to look at the whole deck in a holistic sense to see how easy this is to get done, and whether or not it's worth going that deep into your materials to do something like this. Because, like, being able to realistically do this all in one turn, right? You would need to have unit plus a warrior monster to make O. Then you need O plus license plus this to make F. Which requires you to be able to bring something from your graveyard, because you wouldn't have enough in 5 cards in hand to be able to do this. So, yeah, I don't know. I really don't know why you would want to go all the way to F. Yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to see how easy it is to get done. That's really the only thing. Once all the cards are out, I'll hopefully get to see and do some testing and just see why this would be something that people would want to go into, right? Like, is this going to be a good deck whatsoever? Currently, I don't think so. I don't think this deck is good enough right now, but who knows? Dragiastar F and Argent F? What does the F even mean? Great question. Yeah, I don't know. Because, like, yeah, even in the Japanese, it's just F. My guess is that we have FO, and then, like, maybe it's gonna turn into, like, force? Kind of like police force? Because like, if we look at the next tab, we are looking into the Rising Hero lore. So, let's check that out. Argent's unknown past is revealed. Clad in power suits, the Rising Heroes crack down on atrocious interstellar crimes by making full use of weapons and vehicle mecha equipped with Rising units. So, I mean, yeah, kind of. They are kind of like space cops, sure. But one particularly young man enlisted. Sure, okay. Defending the innocent and daring to stand up to evil, he ultimately managed to bring down a criminal organization. I mean, this could just mean that we might get, like, evil. Oh my god, evil Rising Heroes? Evil heroes? Is this the direction we're gonna go with this? We're gonna do, like, you know, I guess, I don't know. The evil heroes technically already exist, so I don't know. What letter would they put here? R hero? I don't know. Evil. So V hero? I don't know. This is the story of Argent during his time as a rookie, who later became the captain of the Rising Heroes. So this is like a lore. This entire deck is like a lore, prequel lore thing to all the other Argent heroes coming together and, you know, becoming a full force. So this actually does open up the deck to become, or to add more cards. We have, like, the evil heroes, which are obviously not going to be called evil heroes. And then we could actually get more in-depth cards for the other Rising Heroes, right? We have Tantalum, we have, like, the other ones whose names I don't remember. But yeah, that could be cool. I'd be down for something like that. All right, moving on. This is actually a very light release thing. So unless they release something tonight, which is, I don't think is going to happen, because they're they have a new video coming out tonight, right? The Rush Duel channel to showcase a new card. So I don't think we're gonna get any new releases from the Twitter account today. So we should be okay. But now we have the Moon Force lore. Oh my god, wait, there's so much stuff here. And yeah, it does tease a new card, it seems. So let's see if they tell us about this card or if they're just kind of, they're just fucking with us for a little bit. Luna Moon Force Drawlia. The friends made of souls Moon Force. What was, what is, and what shall be. Past, present, and future. Supposedly, somewhere on the far side of the moon exists the eternal land Spectrica. There, countless Moon Force live happily together with their friends. The Moon Force that live there are animals that originally lived on Earth. It seems each of them came there to play, carrying something deeply important to each of them. That carries memories of the times they spent with humans, such as earrings, ribbons, their favorite towels, and even hammocks. Drawlia is an entity that watches over and protects this land, and who leads these animals to Spectrica. In the past, when they were just a whelp on Earth, they were raised by humans with tons of love and affection, and they still deeply cherish the cloth that still smells of their partner. Okay, so we're getting into some sad stuff. I'm ready. I can handle it. That's fine. The spell card Memory of Sunlit depicts one such warm afternoon that Drawlia remembers. As a whelp, their favorite thing to do was to crawl into their partner's sleeves. The inside of that sleeve was probably the closest and more secure place to them. Time passed even on those days, and before they knew it, Drawlia had grown little by little, just like their partner, and one day they let their partner climb onto their back, and they'd fly up to a secret high ground where they could soak in the view together. The tender memories of this precious, oh so precious time on the edge of evening twilight when humans think of Spectrica. Sometimes their memories and prayers become motes of light that travel to that country. Drawlia feels it, and the thoughts that flow into them turn into magical energy that radiates as the great feathers emerging from their wings, that gently and warmly illuminates the moon. The Moon Force, who are guided there by Drawlia, are somewhere on the far side of the moon, having fun even now, until the day they can meet you again. All right. Yeah, I mean, it's very cute. This is kind of what I think a lot of people were assuming the lore were to be, right? Like, this was going to be, some sort of animal heaven due to all of these cards being spirits, or like looking like spirits and ghosts and stuff like that. So I'm going to assume that Memory of Sunlit, and what I'm hoping that Memory of Sunlit will do, is allow you to retrieve the ritual spells, because you can't do that right now. One of the biggest irks that I have with Moon Force as a deck is that you cannot retrieve your ritual spells naturally. There's no in-theme card that lets you do so, and that really hurts your chances, especially if you mill all of them or mill a few of them back into your deck. Sure, you can maybe bring them. No, actually, I don't think you can bring them back with any Moon Force cards. Or like bring them back into the deck with Moon Force cards. So, yeah, I really, really hope that this is a card that lets you basically get back any of your ritual spells for you to then use. Really, that's it. It's weird that it isn't tied with a monster like most of the other, ritual monster support stuff, but that's fine. That's fine. But yeah, that's very cute. I think we get to see the artwork in here. Oh, yeah. So something like this, which is really nice. See, it's a Drawlia living on Earth. This is the sleeve that Drawlia used to sleep in or play. And yeah, I mean, this is just very cute. Very cute all around. All right, moving on. Soulseer, the Sky Savior, Light Flash, Errata. Now, erratas are far and few in between in Rush Duels. Usually that doesn't really happen unless, and if it does, it's usually just small wording issues that kind of just happen. And this happens quite a bit. when it comes to older cards getting errata because of, you know, either problem solving card text or just the way that things are worded changed because of how the game is being played and how stuff works. The errata. Before, you can just place one other card on your field back to the bottom of the owner's deck, and after, you have to show one other card on your field and place it at the bottom of your owner's deck. Now, there's no specific reason, or no one has really found like the exact reason why this was, you know, put out in the first place, but obviously there's a lot of holes here for people to cheat. By placing one other card in your field back to the bottom of your owner's deck, that means that you don't necessarily have to put a card in the correct zone, right? For example, if you want to be a sneaky little cheat, you can put a monster card in your spell and trap zone, which obviously does not happen, and we're not playing Snake Eyes, so you know, that's just definitely not something that happens. So what people could do is, if they don't have, you know, a spell card or even a monster card, right? You can also do the same thing by putting a spell card face down on your field or whatever, and then you can use this effect right away, place it, and then you can activate the effect of Soul Seer, which is obviously cheating and not allowed. So now you have to show your card, which I think already happens in the client or in the EDO Pro client. I don't recall. Maybe I'm wrong, because I mean, I've been playing this deck so much recently to find like a good deck to use for my rush review, but maybe it doesn't do that. It didn't do that before, but I think it's changed now, so it should be okay. But yeah, it's just stuff like this where, you know, accountability and making sure that people know what the cards are, it just makes sense, right? There's no reason why it shouldn't be this way. Because like, I don't know, you just don't want to cheat. Don't be a terrible person to cheat, I guess. All right, so that is, I think, all the news. The Galaxy Prize Cup stuff. We got Horse Guy. Horse Guy is getting an alternate art Horse Guy for the team events, which I think is very cool. I do like this a lot. It does give more meaning to the team events as you do get a different prize card, quote unquote. So yeah, I like it a lot. This is very cool. I'm excited for the new team events because of the fact that they did change up the rules, right? My biggest gripe with the team event was the fact that you weren't able, or you could basically copy and paste the same deck 3 times, which is exactly kind of what we saw in the Team Cup last time, or like, you know, a couple months ago. So now we're going to be guaranteed different decks from each team at least, because now all the cards are being shared in the same card pool, meaning that, you know, you can only run 3 copies of each card in between each of your teammates' decks, which means we are guaranteed 3 different decks and guaranteed, hopefully, different matchups when we get to watch the streams, which will be super nice as a viewer. And even better as a commentator, because then you don't have to say the exact same thing multiple times and, you know, be surprised when someone activates their ritual spell for the 3rd time in a row. But yeah. I think that is basically it, because we already talked about these. All right, let's finally move on to back to the tier list. We're back again. We're gonna kind of go through these, see how we do. We have about an hour and a half. I usually am gonna try and stream for at least 2 hours, just to be at the minimum. But we'll see. We'll see if we can get it all done by the time, or we get close to it. I might go a little bit longer, but I'll be honest. I've been, you know, doing pretty well with the sleep schedule, and I want to be able to maintain that. So I don't feel like I don't want to go on for too long, is what I'm trying to say. Anyway, let's jump into it. Zera the Mance. Well, actually, I can do something now. Ready for this? Boom, Zera the Mance. I can put the cards up on the screen because that's actually a really smart thing to do. And I didn't do that last time. So if I try and combine this all into one video, I'm going to have to individually put the cards on the screen for the first half, which, sorry, future Protag, that's gonna suck. That's on you. But present Protag was a little bit smarter and decided to make it or embed it into the OBS. So now we can do this, and then I can just change the cards whenever we move on to the next one. And people can actually see the cards on stream. So if they've never seen the card before, now you're actually able to, you know, walk with me when it comes to me describing what the cards actually look like. And, you know, this can also help people be interested if they've never seen the card before, you know? But Zera the Mant is a classic. This is a really good card. The Overrush Rare itself, I think, is... it just gives it a lot more... It's such a huge glow up, right? If you look at the old version of Zera the Mant and you look at this one, it's just such a big difference of what this card does. But it is, you know, it's forced to be basic because it already exists. So... unfortunately, I will have to put that in, you know, high C tier. There's not really much that goes in. Nah, we'll put low B. I'm being a bit mean. Low B, I think, is fine. It's a really good card. However, now we can go into Zera the Wicked. Now I just have to do this right. Okay, there we go. Boom. Open. Haha! Oh my god, this is so good. Yes, Zera the Wicked is the new Rush exclusive Zera, and honestly, they just made it look better. I think this is a really cool card. They gave it, you know, the red claws. They upgraded it, like truly evil here. And, you know, it allows you to bring back the Zera anyway, so it doesn't, you know, it gives you double trouble, and it looks really nice. I like it. Zera the Wicked, I think I'm gonna give you an A. So we'll put you there. Next up. Okay, it opens up a little bit faster, thank goodness. Next up we have Zerato, Angel of the Sanctuary, because for some reason this one gets a Overrush Rare and not the other one. But this one does look cooler, I guess. I mean, how can you really say no to something like Zerato? It just looks nice. And let's see. What can I say about this card? It's shooting the arrow or shooting the feathers at you. You know, it's got the dagger. It just looks cool. I don't know. I don't really have anything against this, right? Because like there are other cards that do something similar with the wings, right? Like my closest thing would be like Sofaruda. But this one just does it. I feel like it just does it better, right? Zerato just does it better. So I'll probably put Zerato high B. Yeah, high B seems like a fine choice for Zerato. And then moving on from there, we have we have one of my favorite cards. If you guys don't know, my pet deck is where is it? This is in alphabetical order, so why can't I not find it? Hold on. You would think I would just put this in order too. There you go. All Love Goddess. I was like, it's in the A's, but I just kept skipping over it. Yeah, so my pet deck in Rush Duels, the one that I have like the most Overrush rares and like, you know, almost full rarity is the Lovely deck. It's a fun gimmicky deck that has been rogue at best, but is a fun deck to kind of just surprise people with and play against, just because some people don't know what it does, and some people who do will, you know, just be angry by the way that I play this deck. I play this in a very much control-y, very annoying way, but I also have it in the more traditional way to play this card, or play this deck, where, you know, you try and just attack for face, but, you know, the identity of this deck is very ambiguous. Much like myself, I guess. So maybe that's why I feel a connection to it. Anyway, All of Goddess, I would have to give an A. A high A to this card, not on personal bias alone, but on the fact that, I mean, it just looks really good, right? Like, it gives you that angelic feeling of a, you know, it's a very lovely deck, very lovely card, and I feel like it just, you know, it does everything it needs to do. It's like the all mother of this deck. You know, its effect allows you to protect all of the other zero attack monsters, which are usually your other lovelies, in your or on your field. So, it does a really good job on, giving you that feel and all of that. So I do have to just give this an A. I think this is just a really good card and a really good artwork. I'm not going to give it top of A. I don't think it's that good, but I think overall this card is very nice. Okay, next up, let me move back to here. Now we can go into the A's a little bit. All-Seeing Harvey. Now this is definitely an older card. I think there were times where people use this more often than they do now. I think this is now just, I think this is not as, maybe it might be useful in the future as like a tech card, especially if we have stronger boss monsters. But for now, I haven't really seen this card pop up as of late. But we're here to talk about the artwork. It doesn't really do much. A lot of it is just literally the smoke, and that is, I mean, it's an old card, it's an old Overrush rare. I don't expect it to do too much, right? Because they were still experimenting on how much they could put in without, going too overboard. And I think they could have done more here. Maybe, like, overall, I think the artwork is fine, but I don't like that a lot of it is just smoke, right? Like, most of the card, if you look at where the borders are, if you were to just, like, imagine the card being cut off at those borders, 95% of it is still in the borders of the artwork. The only thing that comes out is the leg. And trust me, as an enjoyer of legs, this is not an issue. However, it is when, that's all it adds to the image. It adds the continuation of their leg. I mean, sure, why not? But yeah, overall, I think this is not as great. It's probably high D tier. It's not the worst. Not high. Yeah, we'll put it here. Mid D. That should be okay. All right, moving on. We have this card. I'll be honest, I forgot this card even existed. I didn't even know this card really existed until I actually went back and got all these images, and I was like, oh my god, that's right, they did make this card. Almastra the 11th, or Almastra 11, Almastra XI, however you want to pronounce it. Aquarius. So I would love to see a full, Yu-Gi-Oh has done the astrology, the zodiac, all of the star stuff already, but I wouldn't say no to another one in Rush Duels. All right, Rush Duels doesn't have a full astrology thing yet, and I feel like we're allowed to have at least one. We do already have a luck themed deck, but that doesn't mean that we can't make another one, right? So, but maybe we don't have to do that. Maybe we can just leave the coin flip ones to the tarot cards or the Arcana forces in the advanced format, and we can make something else that is astrology related that isn't going to be luck based or other stuff or whatever they decide to do. Anyway, I do like the design of this card. I like the concept, but the Overrush rare itself is very lacking. There's nothing that happens on the top except for the increase of, or we get to see the rest of this thing, whatever this is. We get to see more of its wings, its cape, whatever. Sure. Oh my god, imagine if this transforms into a snake jar or something. If these all turn into pottery and then open up into these things, that would be sick, right? If they had low-level versions that are just pots of themselves. I'm giving you so many good ideas, Konami. You should probably do something about them. But yeah, this is a very weak Overrush rare in my opinion. This definitely goes into the D tier. All right, what is after that? Wait, are we already on? Yeah, I guess we are. Ancient Gear Golem. Ancient Gear Golem got a Overrush rare because it was the main thing that came out of the pack. It was the what was it called? The Legend. No, it's not Overrush pack. It was the legend pack or whatever, right? The whatever the legend pack thing was called. I don't remember the name anyway. The Zodiac Galaxy thing. Yes, this could be a fun theme by making it level 11 now. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of things that they could do. And I don't know what else I feel like they should expand on it a little bit more. Hopefully we get to see that. That definitely could have been in my predictions list, in my predictions video, if I remembered that card existed in the first place. That could have been really cool to see. Anyway, Ancient Gear Golem. Let's see. What do I want to say about this card? It's cool that they added it, but as an Overrush rare, it looks so boring. It does get the benefit of being a Rush Duel card, that it does get an upgrade in its art style and art quality. But a lot of its design is still fitted within the frame. The only thing that really pops out is its arm, which does, it does give it that extra depth thanks to it coming out of the frame a little bit. Sure, but that's really it. That's all they really can do with this card. And so unfortunately, this doesn't really get that high of a grade. I cannot justifiably give this something higher than like a C. But it does look cool. It does look a lot better than, its original version. That is, I can say that for sure. Let me drink some water. What is after that? Ancient Gear Megaton Golem. Kind of the same thing. A lot of it is already covered in the frame. It gets its foot out, which gives it a little bit of depth, but it's pretty simple. Nothing really stands out here in terms of like, yes, this is the overframe or Overrush rare. They could have made him a little bit bigger. If they redesigned the card, they could have made him bigger. But I don't think they were going to do that in the first place. So, yeah, we'll just put it next to each other. Okay, actually, I don't think it's like better than those two. All right. Moving on, we have Ancient Gear Powered Soldier. So this one is a Rush exclusive, I believe. This one does what I wanted. This one kind of does what I want the other Ancient Gear Golems to do. Right? It makes use of the Overrush spacing, and it's a pretty basic design given everything, but they revamped the card. They added a bit more color to show off that it is, it's the powered soldier and not just some basic ass soldier. So yeah, I think this is still not great, but it did answer, or at least cover for a lot of the things I was hoping that it would do. The little flash mark, or the little light reflection mark at the bottom here next to or above the 2000 attack does look a little off place to me, but that I'm not the art designer. I don't make that decision. So we'll put it here, sure. After that is probably my favorite Ancient Gear out of the new Rush Duel Ancient Gears. We've got a good old Ancient Gear Tyranno. Ancient Gear Tyranno is just a Tyrannosaurus Rex, but it's Ancient Gear style. It does look very fun. I would love to be able to see this being made as like, if they ever do like a Yu-Gi-Oh museum, or like how like Ghibli has its own park or whatever in Japan, right? If Konami ever decided to make Yu-Gi-Oh its own park, like its own theme park or something like that, I would love to see like a life-size statue of Ancient Gear Tyranno, right? Like in like a museum or something, where usually they have like the T-Rex sculpture or like the T-Rex skeletons in the center. I would love that. I would love for that to be replaced with the Ancient Gear Tyranno. I think that would be a very funny, funny addition, funny nod to normal museums, but also making it in its own Yu-Gi-Oh style. I think there is a skeleton, like a Tyrannosaurus Rex skeleton Yu-Gi-Oh card already, I think. But if there isn't, there you go. Use this instead, right? Like, we have Tyrannosaurus Rex cards already, but, you know, it could be fun to just change it up a little bit. Anyway, as an Overrush rare, I cannot give this high marks either. It feels like all the Ancient Gear cards just didn't really get to utilize the Overrush frame or Overrush framing as well as they might have. But it's still decent enough. I'll give it a... It's not as good, so I can't give it like a perfect or like a higher than, you know, the Powered Soldier. But it's alright. It's alright. You know what? I'm going to move these a bit lower. Because, like, they're not terrible, but I don't think they deserve to be that high up in the C tier. Okay. Where are we going next? Ancient Gear, Animagica Leader! Animagica Leader. This one is one of the older Animagica cards because Animagica hadn't been a full theme until after this card was printed. So I'm sure they already thought about Animagica being a full thing by the time this card was out. But yeah, I think this is at least better than the Ancient Gears. Because it does the field of view, the depth, a little bit better by having Giant Sword here, by having some of the other swords in the background to show that it's kind of like Gates of Babyloning you into submission, right? I feel like this is a very cool way to be able to showcase something like that. And it does utilize the Overrush rare bonus by doing so. Right? I like this a lot, so I'm gonna give this probably a B. I feel like they could have done a little bit more on this side, but given the angle of everything, yeah, probably mid to high B here. But we do get one of the, I think, the better Animagica Overrush rare. We have Animagica Shooter. Animagica Shooter, I feel like, does fully utilize the Overrush frame. However, once again, I feel like its entire body still fits within the space. So I can't really give it that much. But I like that you get to see more of the arrow. You get to see that, you know, it's going for you. She's aiming for you, and you're probably gonna get hit. Given the nature of how Animagicas work, you're probably losing a monster here. And I like that this is kind of generic, right? Like, I have definitely used this card in non-Animagica decks as a form of removal, right? This is especially popular in one of the decks that I like to play, Light Reptiles. Light Reptiles is a very fun, just mishmash of cards that can utilize Animagica Shooter because they are light monsters that will allow this to be tributed with one card, and it'll destroy most boss monsters that, you know, obviously aren't fusions, but you do have other ways around that, especially by using like Prime, Joint Tech Rex, or stuff like that to be able to lower some of the boss monsters levels. But yeah, I mean, overall it's a good card. Overrush rare design wise, it's an okay card. It's definitely not great. But I do like that it uses up a lot more of the space, so I'll put it in the B tier. We finally made it to 3 rows of B, 2 rows of A. I mean, there's no way that we're gonna have more than 1 row of S. S is like the best of the best. But I feel like I could be a little bit more mean and put more cards in D tier. But I'll have to put all the ones that I really want to put in D tier first, and then we'll think about moving all the other stuff. Let's see, what comes after Animagica Shooter? What does come after? Is it Axe? Is it Axe Tension? It is. Okay. Or not Axe Tension. Action Melody, the Music Princess. Very basic Overrush rare, very zoom and enhance. It doesn't really do much. Not even the music notes do not help this whatsoever. This is like a semi-old Overrush rare, so it makes sense that there isn't much that goes on with it. But I mean, now you get to see the rest of the quote-unquote acts, which is cool. I don't know if I really call this an axe, if I'm being honest. This part is an axe. This is like a scythe, right? Because like axes, you swing down and then you hope to like cleave something in half. Like this side does that, but this side doesn't, and it feels really weird to be able to say that this is a truly an axe of any sort. I will have to rate this one pretty low. This might be a D tier one if I'm being honest. Alright, moving on. Whoa, is that true? Are we already... Oh no, we're not. Okay, I was like, that can't be right. We are here. Balloon Batia is our next card. This is super pretty. The design is very cute. I like the idea that it's just like a entertainer that does balloon stuff, balloon magics. It's not as intricate as some of the other designs, but this is just a level 4. It is a very simple level 4 that I just realized this cat is Strange Cat. I never realized. I just saw, in the zoom up, I just saw that it has the ring on the tail. So it's a Strange Cat. Oh my god, that's so cute. What a nice little callback. But yeah, I mean, this is pretty simple. I don't think I can give this anything higher than a B. Probably a low B in my opinion. So let me move over there. Okay, maybe it's not high C. High C, because like if a low B is like I'd imagine a Shooter and Zera, I feel like this one is yeah, I might change that later, but we'll keep it there for now. Alright, after that, we have Bendiva Duo, the Elegy of the Wailing Winds. I like the card design a lot. I mean, I like the concept and the art style of the Shaman Bandits a lot. I feel like it's such a cool concept. If only Rush Duels and Konami actually cared about this deck and printed, any or all of their actual, equip spells to be able to equip them and do cool stuff, then I feel like we'd have a really fun deck. But as of right now, the deck kind of sucks. It apparently focuses more on fusions now, which is weird, and I hate that. But the cards look really cool, and I think this Overrush art does look very nice as well. I think it really does give you that extra feel, once again, with like the arrow shooting out and like coming, giving you that depth of field for the music and whatever. Like, this is really nice. High B to low A in my opinion is probably where I would put this. We'll put it here for now. We'll split the Mech Lord, or the Overlords, not Mech Lords. That's the wrong game. I shouldn't be talking about Mech Lords. Alright, let's see what is after that. Beast King Barbaros. This is the first time that I ever realized that Beast King Barbaros had like legs, or like it looks like a it had legs, but it's like a lion, right? It is a lion-esque body, an animal body with, human body with, I guess, human head. I don't know how you want to describe that, but that's cool. That's cool. I just never got to see that before, and this is now the first time that I learned about that. Maybe people already knew about this, but I for sure didn't. This is okay. I mean, a lot of the space is being taken up, like stylistic wise. It's just taken up by the electricity. I mean, I don't think that's really that big of a deal. But outside of that, this is a port, so they can only do, so much with the space that they're given. You can see you still can't even see the full length of the spear. You get to see most of it now. You get to see the rest of the shield. It's okay. you're probably going to hear the same thing for all the other legend monsters that got ported and everything, but I feel like there are some that are just better than others. So you, I'm going to put, probably here. That should be okay. Alright, next up we have Black Dragon Skull Archfiend. Black Dragon Skull Archfiend, I feel like, does do a pretty good job of filling out the space for an overframe. Or not overframe, overrush rare. I'm getting all the terms mixed up now. There's too many. But yes, this is a really cool card. I really like how they decide to, you know, once again, they gave it Depth of Field by allowing the claws to be bigger and going over. So it shows that it's kind of stretching out. The wings are out. That's cool. But yeah, this is one of those cards, one of those ports that I feel like they did a pretty good job on fully utilizing the overrush rare space, right? That's not a easy thing to do, in my opinion. I will give it high B. I don't know if it's A material, but you know, who knows? What is after that? Oh, okay. Next up, we have Blackluster Ritual. Blackluster Ritual, I think, just looks way better from its original counterpart, which I guess isn't hard to do when you've been such an old-ass card in the first place, so don't mind me. But it does, I mean, art-wise, it looks better. Overrush-wise, I don't get why. Okay, I lied. I get why this had to be an Overrush rare because of the fact that Blackluster Soldier is an Overrush rare, and it was the face card for Overrush Pack 4. So, or Overrush Pack 3, sorry. Overrush Pack 4 was the Charmers. But yeah, it had to be an Overrush rare for that reason, but obviously, what could you really do with Blackluster Ritual that would make it look better, I guess? I think they did a really good job here. The only thing I could have hoped to have seen is that, you know, some of the retrains of the ritual supports that even the Dark Magician of Chaos got were based off of some of the stuff that we saw in the original Yu-Gi-Oh manga, right? We saw that Griffor and Kuribo were used in the artwork for that, so maybe they could have done something here if they wanted to at least change the art style, but maybe they didn't want to do that because they haven't done that really before, and that's, you know, a little blasphemous when it comes to stuff like that. So, yeah, I really got no choice to put this at the C tier. It doesn't really do too much. But I will have to say, Blackluster Soldier, that looks pretty good. All right, no Twitter blue check account can really talk shit about this card. And I like this card a lot because, I mean, it looks good. I don't know what to say, right? Like, you can't really do too much to Blackluster Soldier because it is such an iconic card. The pose is iconic, the art is iconic, and it looks a lot better, right? It looks so nice in the overframe that, oh, not overframe, overrush. Oh my god, I need a overrush. It does look really good in the overrush style. That it's a little, I'm a little biased here. I can't give it anything higher than I guess C, given that there isn't much, but I can give it like low B to high C. I feel like is good. This is very nice aura farming. Like the foiling on this, if you saw the foiling of this card, looks incredible. This is so tough. I'm so biased. It might be a hot take, but most rush art is better than the master rule. I think by the sheer amount of cards that the advanced format has, there are definitely outliers to that statement, but overall, in terms of like percent wise of what I think is like, you know, really good compared to some of the stuff in advanced format, I can agree with that statement somewhat, but I'm not, because there isn't the same amount of cards, and like obviously Rush Duel just is new. Rush Duel is new, so they get the advantage of not being a game that has been out for over 26 years. right? So now they've learned their lessons on art design. They are a lot more creative, and they are a lot more, I guess, they can test the limits a little bit more when it comes to the art style here in Rush Duels, because it's a lot brighter. The colors are brighter. The overall vibes of the game, I feel like, is a lot different when it comes to just the overall way that people interact with this game, right? Like, it's still competitive, don't get me wrong, but I feel like a lot of the art style does, and a lot of the overall artistic designs does give it a bit more of a nicer vibe, I guess, compared to what we see in the TCG and OCG stuff. It was funny when the new Unchained cards were released. There was a comment or two saying that these look like Rush Duel cards, and I found that really funny because, like, I mean, I could see it. I can kind of see where they're coming from with that statement, right? Like, the Unchained dogs got turned into people, and then they're like lower level version. Like, the concept is really cool in my opinion of what they decide to do. Like, I have no qualms with the art design or art style that they chose, but like, it was really funny to see that they're like, oh, these should have been Rush Duel cards, while most of the times that I see comments under Rush Duel cards, they're like, oh, this should have been in the advanced format and stuff like that. So it's really funny to see the tables get turned in that regard. So I'm happy in a way that people are like, what, this should have been a Rush Duel card. I'm like, this is a good card. It really could have been. We don't have links in Rush Duel, but they could have retrained Unchained somehow to make it fit. That would have been weird. This looks like Rush Duel art is the highest compliment I could say about a game. Yeah, I mean, I feel like they've just done a really good job. There are other card games out there, I will say. Like, Vanguard has some amazing, like, beautiful cards, right? Digimon has some beautiful cards, but like, a lot of that is thanks to the fact that they do have like a lot of full arts. They have a lot of other stuff, but like, in terms of monster in a box type card games, I feel like, yeah, I feel like we lucked out with Rush Duels here. All right, did I move Blacklisted Soldier? I didn't. Yeah, I'll put you in, like, I can't justifiably give it higher than this when I put Zera here too, so we'll put these two together. I think that's fine. All right, after that we have the good old Black Skull Dragon. Black Skull Dragon, I mean, they put up a lot of space. They used up a lot of space up here, which is really nice. They really couldn't do too much else, but that's the nice thing about dragons. You can never fit a full dragon in the box, so they get easy points for whenever they get like a full art or an overframe or an overrush rare. You can just sorry, I had to sneeze, but I held it. But yeah, the dragon wings, you can easily just continue the dragon wings, and boom, there you go. You got your overrush rare. Simple enough. I mean, there's nothing that I can really dock it for. It's just not as intricate. Let's see. Other card games are masters of one art style, while Rush is a jack of all trades in my eyes. That's a good point. Yeah, I mean, I'm not well versed in a lot of other, like, I don't want to say like anime TCGs, but I think that's like the best way I can describe it right now. Like, things like Vanguard, Digimon, Grand Archive, and things like that. I will say I do like how, I don't remember if it's Grand Archive or there's a TCG that added these full arts that are like stained glass. I know Alestrals does it, but I'm not thinking about Alestrals because I know the name Alestrals, right? Because I just said it. But there was one of those anime TCGs that has like these cool stained glass cards that look really, really nice. but I don't remember that. But I also don't want to see that in Rush Duels. I feel like the rarities that they have for Rush Duels is already really good. I think the increased chase cards with the full arts and like the increased rarities with the premium black versions, I feel like are good where we are. I don't think if they decide to change the entire art style to be, you know, all of these different these different things, that'd be too much. I think that'd be asking for too much for a game that, you know, is already testing the limits of what they want to do with these new rarities. But yeah, I agree. Jack of all trades is a good way to describe it, because like while all the designers are different, it feels like they all fit somehow. You know, they all just make sense. And that is, I think, pretty hard to do. Okay, next up is I'm just gonna put the center card. I don't think I can realistically put all three. I can't put all three pieces up at the same time. Blaze Bolt, Chemist Storm, Feng Huang, Vocalize, Phoenix. Is it Feng Huang? Feng Huang. I don't even know if it's actually supposed to be Chinese or not, but yeah, what do I say about this card? It looks really good. Oh, actually, I guess I could add all the pieces. Hold on. I mean, I could just add more images, which is really not the best, but whatever. And then I'll just have to delete these afterwards. Oh, where'd it go? Okay, there you go. That's close enough. Oh, the magnetizing is messing it up a little bit, but that should be okay. Wait, I did that right? That's the left side? Yeah, okay. I was like, oh god, imagine if I did that wrong. Oof. And then... Alright, side. What is it magnetizing itself to? It's so weird. Okay, that's probably as close to it that I can get. Probably. But, yeah, here we go. This is like the full version of the card, all of its maximum pieces in order. It looks really nice in my opinion. I really like the design a lot overall. The chemicalized, the chemistry cards, I feel like are very underutilized. Not underutilized. They just underperform for what they are, but like the concept is really cool. I like it a lot. The maximum does look really nice, and I love that they found a way to put the oh god, let's put that back. Put me back. I do like the way that they were able to make the pieces, or make them into a full-on like fusion maximum mix thing. Okay, that's a little bit better, but obviously now I'm just being a little picky on where the card or where the lines meet up. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna have to. I want to give this an A. I have no reason not to give this an A if I'm being honest. It's just a really good card overall. So let's put it there. Oh, that scared me a little bit. I don't know why it did it like that. There you go. Yeah, from a distance, I mean, it looks a little bit better, obviously. But yes. Okay. moving on from there, we're going to see... Why can I not browse? There we go. Boom! Blaze Fiend Overlord Lucifer? Whichever one. But yes, this is... I mean, the Blaze Fiends are so cool. Too bad they also kind of suck and are complicated for no reason. But this is a really good card. Like, overall, I like the design. It is a little bit weird that they were like, well, we can give him an an overrush. I need a swear jar, but me just saying overframe instead of overrush. I don't know why I say overframe. I play rush duels. I would just say overrush every single time. I don't know why I have overframe in the mind, but... Oh, you know why? It's because I was looking at I was watching Ruxin's video earlier today while I was eating, and it was like, oh, we're opening the Blazing Dominion, but no overframes? And then it was like, yeah, I guess no overframes. That's weird. Why would they do that when they already released it for Rarity Collection? But, yeah, this is just me being too scatterbrained. Anyway, this is an alright card. I will probably give this like a high B in terms of design. I wish to see the other, overlords, the other Blaze Fiends get their own version of this, like outside of the Maximal Monster, of course. But yeah, this is... It is wild that they were like, what if we just made Lucifer as a Yu-Gi-Oh card? And you're like, yeah, why not? Why not? I love the Blaze Fiend deck and concept, but the art feels so clunky. Yeah. Or not the art, sorry, I misread that. But they feel so clunky. Yeah, that's like my biggest qualms with the deck is like, I like the concept a lot, but they just don't play well. They don't play well at all. The maximum decks that run like level 10 maximums, they're not it anymore. They just don't make sense, and that's just really unfortunate. Okay. Let's see. After that, we finally move on to the Blue Eyes. Blue Eyes, Blazing Bright Dragon. This is a cool card. As a design, I like it a lot. As an overrush, Jesus. As an overrush, it's fine. This is probably going to be like a high C, low B type deal. I don't really have too much to say about this one. Put it here, I guess. The dragons get a little bit of a pass of like what makes them, because I don't think they're terrible, but I don't think they did a really good job. But what I think did a pretty good job is Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. This is an overrush rare. It looks amazing. They like, you get to see like all three heads in action. You get to see like basically the full body of the dragon itself. And like, I mean, it looks cool. Blue Eyes is actually a pretty decent starter deck for people who want to try and get into Rush Duels or just get into Yu-Gi-Oh! And want to play Rush Duels first for whatever reason, Like, I've definitely seen... I follow a few instructors or a few people who play, who do like instructor-led events or, things like that. And they tend to have at least one Blue Eyes deck in their, library of, rental decks that they give out to people to try and play Rush Duels. And I think Blue Eyes is just a really good introductory deck to get into it, right? Like, it's familiar cards. People know what Blue Eyes is, and you can fusion summon. They do have some like Rush exclusive cards that you add in, and yeah, it's a good deck. Is it strong? Hell no. But you're probably not going to be trying to play against a Blue Eyes deck with full powered like Executee or full powered Necromaids and stuff like that. You're probably just gonna do some other like really easy deck to play against it. So anyway, this one I will give high B2. It's a really good card. I like it a lot. All right, next up is this Blue Eyes. I will say I'm one of those people who are not a fan of this specific art of Blue Eyes White Dragon. Yeah, I just never liked this art of the Blue Eyes. The OG Blue Eyes is okay, but it wouldn't look good in an Overrush rare. However, this one I guess does make sense in terms of all the arts they could have chosen to put in for their Overrush rare version of this card, so I can't fault them for that. This is probably your best bet, especially because it introduces once again that extra layer of depth to the card. So it's not the worst. It's probably low C. That should probably be okay. Crazy how they haven't capitalized on Blue Eyes more often. I won't be surprised if they decided to revamp both Blue Eyes and Dark Magician again. Like, if for whatever reason they announce that Rush Duels is coming to the TCG, or even better, Rush Duel gets its own, client, or gets attached to the Master Duel client, then they could add cards or add new support for those decks again in like the physical version, if that makes sense. Anyway, or like they could do exclusive cards. I don't know, right? The same way that they did like the, what's her name? That Fire Link monster that they put in Master Duel first, Promethean Princess. Yeah, Promethean Princess kind of got that treatment, and that could be cool. I would like to see something in that regard, I guess, but I don't know. That's a video idea that I need to finish writing my script for, so we won't talk about it too much here. Yugi's cards have been the overall winners of DM Nostalgia. This is true. This is true. I mean, they got the better Overrush rares. They got the better supports. Yeah. Oh my god. I mean, they didn't get a maximum, which is funny, but even then, Red Eyes got a maximum, and Red Eyes still isn't good, so it doesn't really matter. But hey, at least Red Eyes gets a lot of love here in Rush Duels, and I've seen the comments of people wanting the Red Eyes support to be in advanced format, or they're like, "Oh, I hate that Rush Duels gives Red Eyes so much love, but they never do that for the advanced format." And I'm like, I'm sorry to hear. I count the Gadget Maximum as Yugi support. That's true. I forgot. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's like mini Yugi, right? That is little Yugi support. I would have to agree there, but it's not Dark Magician support, which I feel like is the more well-known and more popular iteration of anything that Yugi has ever done. But I understand what you are correct. You are correct. Let's see. It's rather surprising that Blue Eyes doesn't get a lot of love, where Red Eyes is pretty much the darlings of... Yeah, okay, basically what I was saying. Yep. Not gonna lie, the recent card being released, Neutron Blast, is a win more... Yeah, Neutron Blast is not a card that helps the deck whatsoever. It's just, I can just deal more damage. And that's not a card that they need. They need a card that allows them to move as fast as some of the decks going on right now. They could introduce rituals to the Blue Eyes deck, which would be really cool. I feel like that would be a very fun thing that they can do. But yeah, I don't know what else they could really do to try and make Blue Eyes good. If they want to port more cards, maybe, but I don't know if there's enough stuff that they can add to make Blue Eyes not become super dominant. I'm sure Konami has learned their lessons from the one time that they were like, well, what if we gave Blue Eyes a bunch of support, we banned a bunch of cards to make Blue Eyes the best deck, and then have Blue Eyes win Worlds? That'll show the Yugi boomers that, their favorite card game is still good. I don't know how much that actually worked, but That is well, we'll have to see. They should add Stardust next as a ritual monster or something. I don't know, but it'd be gorgeous in Rush. Stardust would look really, really nice. However, I would be okay for waiting another whole year before they even think about adding synchros to Rush Duel. I feel like we don't even know if the Union monsters are actually going to be Union monsters, right? We were teased when the Charmers came out that, oh, are we getting flips? No, we're not getting flips. We're instead getting cards that will just activate their effects if the requirement is that the card is flipped face up, which I mean is obviously a little bit different, but that's all you can really do because there are other times where cards get flipped up and you're not allowed to activate the effect, right? So that's fine. But we don't know if unions are actually going to be unions or not, or if they're just going to print union monsters and instead just give it a different effect or a different requirement for the effect. That's really it. And then if they add Toons, then that's going to be interesting because Toons has been getting a lot of love, right? Toons just got a bunch of support in the new thing. They also we got freaking weird ass Magistus card in Rush Duels, and so there's a lot of cross promotion going on, which is interesting. They're doing it a lot more, so I don't know what conspiracy theories are going on here, but the fact that we're getting a lot more of this intersection between the advanced format and the Rush Duel format is cool. I like it a lot. Yugi doesn't have the strongest gimmick equip spells. True. We should get more equip spells. I feel like equip spells have been kind of pushed off to the side, and they deserve some love too. They're not the greatest of mechanics, but Rush Duels has a chance to make them good again. I want them to add Hermos. I don't know how you guys pronounce it. I say Hermos. And Critias as direct Red Eyes and Blue Eyes support. That could be interesting. We already got Timaeus, so that is possible. Imagine we also get Seal of Orichalcos? I don't think Rush Duel should adapt any more mechanics introduced from 5Ds onward. To be honest, they should introduce new mechanics into the game. I do agree. I feel like the time that they've taken to introduce the quote unquote new mechanics is long enough, right? The reason that you introduce a new mechanic is because the game is going on for a while and, it gets a little bit stale. Rituals hasn't been out. I don't know. Rituals has been out for about more than a year now. So I can see them doing something new, but I think giving them another year or so before they introduce something extreme, either a new summoning mechanic or some new thing, that would make sense. But yeah, I agree that, we shouldn't rush it at all, no pun intended. If they do want to add synchros or XCs, that they wait a long ass time. Right? The way that everything is going right now, I think is fine. The pacing, I think, is fine. There's nothing too big going on. There aren't mechanics that are being completely left out of the dust. Right? Like, we just got a new maximum, so that's not going to be an issue. We're still getting new fusions. We're still getting new rituals, obviously, and all of that. So, and we're still getting decks that don't need any extra deck stuff, right? The Clad Dragons are a extra deck, or no, they're not an extra deck list one. We were being funny about that. But like Monarchs, those are very strong, and those do not require an extra deck whatsoever, and stuff like that. So, yeah. Sorry. Since unions are coming to Rush, I want Equip Spells to be good or Revamp to be just as popular. Yeah, I agree. I would love to see monsters be Equip Spells. I would love to see monsters be put into the Spell and Trap zone. I would love to see, we still haven't gotten an answer to why there's card text that say, spells cannot be returned to the hand, main deck, or extra deck. I want to see what an extra deck spell would look like and what that would do exactly, right? Like, are we talking like, actually, I don't really have a good example of this. But like, I would love to see what something like that would look like, right? It's not a pendulum monster, that's for sure. But like, what are we working with here? I want to see that before we see anything. We see a new summoning mechanic or something, right? That's the big thing. Not summoning mechanism, just Stardust as monsters. Okay, yeah. So like, just like all the Stardust cards kind of like retrained, all the junk cards retrained, and that fit in the Rush, under the Rush umbrella. Yeah. A Ritual Stardust Dragon could be interesting. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot that they can do here. I really don't know what they would want to focus on or prioritize. Because like, if we want to focus on the abilities first, right? We already saw flips. We're gonna see unions, maybe tunes. Spirits don't really make sense because you can already just summon whatever. Like, the only thing that spirits do is they bring the cards back, which could be an interesting mechanic too, don't get me wrong. But like, the first part of spirits of being able to just summon it, for free, and then, the cost of having to bring it back is a little bit different. But what other one am I missing? Gemini. How the hell is Gemini gonna work? Gemini needs you to summon the same card twice. You can technically already do that, right? You would just have to say, like, you can only activate this effect after after the turn that this card was already played or something like that. And even then, you'd have to have a good reason to do something like that. That's so slow compared to what decks can do right now. So, okay. Enough about that. We've been talking. We just had the shitty blue eyes on the screen this entire time. Oof. All right, let us show the next blue eyes. I said, let me show the next blue eyes. Bluetooth Burst Dragon. I mean, art-wise, it looks cool. Once again, it's a dragon. So the easiest thing they can do is increase and show off the rest of the wings, which is a little bit of a cop-out in my opinion. That's not cool. Dragon shouldn't be able to just do that. That's such a cheap way to utilize the space. Why does it say I'm recording? I'm already streaming. Oh god. Okay. We're gonna stop recording. I must have accidentally clicked it. Oof. Alright, after that though is Bluetooth Enhanced Burst Dragon. Once again, it's just the wings. God, the dragons, they make it so hard to love them sometimes, I swear. This is also gonna be low. It's a little bit better because there's more wing, I guess, but if nah, I need to drink some water. We don't have illusions yet in Rush Duel. Someone made a comment on one of my videos a while back, like before rituals were introduced, I think, saying that the next thing that Konami was going to add was illusions. They weren't correct. But actually no, I think it was no, maybe it wasn't a while ago. I think it was in my predictions video. Sorry. I think it was, yeah, I think it was in my predictions video that they said that. But anyway, someone said that they were going to add illusions. I don't know how true that's going to be, because obviously we're focusing on flips, unions, and stuff like that. So I don't know if they're really going to add illusion as a new type to Rush Duels. Do I want illusions? Will that do anything? No? I mean, they could make it cool, but illusions aren't even that good in advanced format right now. And that's like the quote-unquote newest type that they added like 2-3 years ago, right? Like, all I see is like the Guardian Chimera being used as like a generic option for some decks, just to have like some extra presence and utility, but like I don't feel like there's been like a good illusion deck. Are the Clown Clan are the clowns illusion monsters? Because I heard that deck is a pretty fun budget option, but I don't think it's that good. Anyway, I'm not here. I don't know. I'm not here to talk about the advanced format. That is not my area of expertise. All right, moving on from there, we have the Blue Tech Burst Rex. Now this is still cheating a little bit with the wings. I'm still a little bit angry about it, but it's not as bad. It's not as bad as the other Bluetooth dragons, or any dragon in particular. They are copping out a little bit with the wings, but at least it has some extra depth with the screwdriver thing. So you gotta give it some credit there. You know, they added some other things to make it actually feel like, you know, it's a big combination dragon. So it gets a higher rank. It is about mid C. Mid C is where I put it. All right, let's see. After that, we have Caius the Shadow Monarch. Now, this is one of those examples of, I think, a legend monster that made good use of its Overrush rare given the limitations of the card design. Where do I want to put Caius? Probably B. High B tier for Caius. Caius deserves it. I think it's a really good card. Just a good card overall, but I think the art style gives it a lot more evilness. I feel like it's a lot more pronounced, and you can actually kind of see what Caius is supposed to be like. Because like when you look at the card online in the advanced format, like the old versions, it's hard to tell. And like obviously when you get the physical copy, it's a little bit easier, but you know, once again, the brighter colors and the overall Rush Duel vibes gives it a lot more that I feel like it lacked in, you know, the advanced format. A card with such busy artwork needed the room. That's true, right? Like, once again, it's a lot about how the card designers and the card artists draw their card, and then they're like, does this get do we get an Overrush rare of this? Like, what is the process, right? Does the art comes in first, and then they frame it, and then, you know, if it becomes an Overrush rare, then they can just include the rest of the art, right? Like, that's probably how it gets done. So yeah, interesting. A lot of OCG TCG decks have some illusion, but we need more pure themes of illusion monsters. Exactly, right? Like, I feel like the advanced format should get their own good illusion decks first before they decide to do anything here in Rush Duels. That's my opinion. They should get their own stuff correct first. All right, what comes after Caius? Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Next up, we have Calling Dark Meteor. I'm gonna have to lower the volume of my music in my ear. It's a little bit loud right now. Oh, I also see the time. I have like 30 minutes left before the top of the hour. Okay, so we're definitely not gonna be done today. We're moving this to a part 3. Okay, sure. All right, Calling Dark Meteor. Uh, this is a really cool card. I like it a lot. I mean, it's just the I don't remember. It's not. Is it Meteor Drake or is it one of the Meteor fusions? It's just a really cool card. I think they utilize the space really well. The falling meteors, the fire blast, the lava. It really showcases destruction, and coincidentally, or maybe on purpose, that's exactly what the card does. It destroys a back row, and you know, allows you to actually special summon a monster if you have the right cards in your deck for it. So yeah, but this is a really good card. Art style wise, I like it a lot. This is probably also high B. A lot of these high Bs might be moved into A later if we feel like the ratios are a little bit off. However, moving on from there, we're hitting the candies, the can cards. Can MD. I mean, yeah, this is really good. This is very cute. I like the card art a lot. I feel like this is... Was this one of the newer ones? Or no? Am I thinking of... Because there was like a new... or was this one that just got an Overrush rare? Wait, one of the can cards got an Overrush rare recently, right? Was it in the 5th anniversary pack? I think it's this one, right? What are we saying here? I love this card over Overrush Storm because this one shuffles. Also, yeah, Overrush Storm. But I feel like more people run Overrush Storm now than they do Calling Dark Meteor. I feel like that's true. Like if your Calling Dark Meteor doesn't have synergy with your deck, then they would prefer to run Overrush Storm than they do Calling Dark Meteor. But maybe that's a little bit off. We had a good fish and worm deck faster than the OCG and TCG. Okay, then yeah, maybe they don't care. Maybe we can get the first good illusion type deck before the OCG gets it. MD is the newest? Okay, cool. Because like, I will be honest, I could just tell from the art style and the way that they utilize the Overrush rare space, right? Like, once again, it comes to, you know, the older the card, the less that they really utilize the full amount of space and like what they feel comfortable doing without making it too, you know, cluttered. So cool. I'm glad that I was able to utilize my theory in this way. I can't believe the original Can Ready appeared in the... Or I can't believe only the original Can Ready appeared in the anime. Yeah, I really wish that we got to see these other Can cards in the anime. I feel like that'd be really, really cool to be able to utilize. I know that not all of these came out, you know, at around the same time or like made sense, but I mean, it's cool. It's cool that they did that. I think they've added one for every attribute, right? There's one, or no, is there not a dark can? Is there not a dark can card? We have one of almost every attribute, but not dark? Or no, that one's dark. No, we do have, no, which one are we missing? Are we missing an attribute? I thought I saw a meme where we finally got all of them. Melody is the dark one. Yeah. That one is dark. We have dark, light, earth, wind, or earth. Oh, do we have a wind? Do we have a can? Do we have a wind can? Does Speedy not have a Overrush rare? Does Speedy not have an... Oh, no. Oh, that's so sad. Speedy doesn't have an Overrush rare? So we do have all the attributes, but one of them just doesn't have an Overrush rare. That's sad. That's unfortunate. Rest in peace, my goat. I can't believe that they would do that. I guess we're gonna have to wait another 5 years before they give Speedy the Overrush rare. Because when else are they gonna do it? Unless they surprise print new candy support, I guess, or new psychic stuff. That's wild. That's wild. I actually forgot about Speed. I knew we had one of every element. I just forgot. I just thought we would have an Overrush rare of everyone. Dang. Left out. That sucks. Okay. Anyway, Ebd, I would have to give probably high B to Ebd. After Ebd, we got... I guess we're doing this in whatever order I find them first. Can ID? Yeah, probably low B. Is that what MD is supposed to be? Embody? How would we have gotten the rest of that? Because like the other ones are just the letters, and then like, yeah, you can form the word with the letters, but like how were we supposed to get embody from EBD? Ebd. That can't be right. I mean, I assume that has to be what the Japanese name spell out. Oh, okay. Never mind. Never mind. All right, what is after ID? I keep losing my space. Okay. Oh, okay, Melody's not next, but it was next in on my list. So I guess we're doing Melody first. Melody, good card, good old good old fun card that goes with the we'll put you next to T-Bold, for the fun times, the good old days. But yeah, you're not doing too much over there. Okay, then we're gonna go study or steady. Study's pretty good. Study's like a high. We'll put you here. And finally, your Candy Live. How do I feel about this? It's not even a dragon, but the wings. It once again goes back to the wings thing. They're like, what can we do here? We could have made this a little bigger. Nah, wings. We put the wings out again. I put you with the rest of the dragons with the wings out. That's what we're gonna do. That'll get them. Where's the light candy Overrush rare? I'm gonna be real honest. I don't know. But I'm also gonna be honest where Ready doesn't have an Overrush rare. So there's two of them. Okay, so they're not alone. We'll just have to figure it out. We'll have to figure out when that's gonna happen. Unless it's in Duel Links, but I don't think there is actually because that was in basically alphabetical order. If it existed, then it would have been there. And so the fact that it isn't, I'm going to have to assume that it doesn't exist. That's kind of surprising to me, if I'm being honest. Because yeah, I thought Candy Live was part of it, but obviously it's a fusion and not an effect monster, or not just a plain effect monster. So that is different. That is a little bit of a cause for concern. Now we know that there's actually 2 of the cans that do not have a Overrush rare, which is very sad. RIP. Unfortunate. Want to say Pien. All right, where are we going after that though? Let's see. It's already. I can go for a little bit longer, and then we'll see how we're feeling. All right, next up is Cattle Healer Amore. This is a card that I would think wouldn't fully make sense if it wasn't an Overrush rare, right? The lasso forming the heart, a lot of it is cut off by the normal borders of this card. So without it, you wouldn't really be able to tell that this is supposed to be a heart. And then you lose kind of the meaning of why it's Cattle Healer Amore. Weird, but yeah. I don't know if that's a on purpose thing or if it's a accidental thing. Actually, I want to check. Cattle Healer Amore. Yeah, you would not have been able to tell that, unless you guessed, you would not have been able to tell that the lasso is supposed to be in the shape of a heart. Reddy was in the dueling set right before their Overrushers. Unfortunate. That is very, very sad. But okay, that means yeah, I actually like the fact that this does need to be an Overrush rare to get the full image of what you're looking for. I like that. I do think that that's a cool thing that they did here, so I will put it, I'll put it low A. Low A for the concept. Obviously, the rest of the... yeah. Alright. After that, we have Celeb Revelation. One of those rare trap card Overrush rares. We don't really get to see a lot of those nowadays. It's usually just, obviously monsters and then spells. But getting Overrush rare trap cards is far and few in between. How do I feel about this card? I mean, it is very simple. A lot of it is thanks to the overflowing flower petal designs and all the bursting flowers in the background that really give it a lot more. So I can't really give this too high of a thing, but yeah, mid C is probably my best bet. Oh, we're now in the Celebro section, so that's good. We can get through probably the Celebros and probably the Sidras, and then we'll end things off. All right, after that we have Celebros Influencers, one of the newer, I say quote unquote newer ones, because that one was, I think, last year or a couple years ago as a card. But yeah, this is a really cool. I like the concept of having the Celebros girlies be normies or be influencer types and stuff like that. Have a modern, show that they're both modern and elegant. I think that's really cool. For the Overrush rare itself, I mean, they utilize the space really well, with the cell phone doing the selfie, doing the exact, I mean, I guess how else would you take a selfie except by holding your phone in that exact position? But yeah, I think this is really cool. I had this exact pretzel thing when I was in Japan, or not pretzel, it's like a churro, and that was really good. So, a little bit of a bonus points there. But yes, that's a good card. B tier. B tier. All right, we're putting a lot more B's now. We're kind of we're kind of moving things around. We're seeing the bell curve start to shape up. Next up, we have Celebros Luxury Magicians. Now, this is a evil card, but I cannot fault it too much. It is basically their entire strategy nowadays. I don't know. It's good. Personal biases aside. Oh, I am getting a raid. Hello, Mapo. Yo. Sorry, I don't have alerts. I had them set up, but they don't work for some reason. I'm glad that I checked. Hello. What's up? What is up? Long time no see. Yes, it has been a while. Sorry. But yes, welcome everyone. Hello everyone. My name is Protag. I'm a VTuber, and if you've seen me before, no, you haven't. I usually make Rush Duel content over on my YouTube channel, and I'm trying to stream at least every Wednesday. Now, just getting into a groove of things, just because, I haven't streamed in a very long time. I've been focused on making videos. I make videos about Rush Duels. Rush Duels is a, I guess, subsection or alternative game format from the Yu-Gi-Oh game. If you've played Yu-Gi-Oh before, you know that it's a little bit complex, but Rush Duels is a, I guess, revamp of the original card game, adding its own new rules, new cards, and stuff like that to make it a little bit more accessible to people who want to play the game. If you're interested, please check out my channel. Please, you get to see all the cool artwork that we have in the game. We're going through a tier list of all of the quote-unquote full arts, or overrush rares, as we like to call them in Rush Duels. And we're just showcasing all the arts, because it's pretty. We gotta talk about them, and I figured this is the best way to do that as a quote-unquote influencer type. But yes, okay. I've been good. What were you guys doing? I don't have the command to be able to tell, so I don't know. The last time I caught your stream, I was lurking. You were playing Monster Hunter Stories, the third one or whatever, and it looked really fun. I mean, that was really cool. Raven's Watch. Is that no, that's not the spooky game. What is Raven's Watch? Raven's Watch is the roguelike action game. Oh, okay. Wait a sec. Oh my god. No, Steam, don't make me have to put in my birth date. What? Why? Is it that scary of a game? Why are they asking me to do this? I feel like I've seen someone tweet about this game before. Because I've seen this gameplay. I mean, obviously this is not different from most top-down roguelikes, but very cool. Okay. And okay. Sorry, I was looking at the trailer and stuff. No, not at all. Yeah, no, it looks really good. Have you cleared the game? Have you gotten a run? Have you finished a full run yet, or was this your first time going through it? Just cleared my first run on the hardest difficulty. Let's go. Look at that. Pro gamer over here. Congratulations. That's definitely never easy. The first run is always like the most fun, you feel relieved. You're like, I did it. I got one in. But then, then there's the replayability, right? It's what made me so addicted to Hades when it first came out. Was I got my first run in, and then they're like, but there's more stuff that you can do. And I'm like, shit, you're right. And then I played that game mindlessly for days on end until I could, get the true ending. And I think it was worth it. I haven't done that with Hades 2 yet. I just haven't had the itch to play a roguelike. I've been playing just, card games or puzzle games and stuff like that. I'm actually back on my 100-line grind because I haven't finished, or I haven't 100%ed that. Yeah, I gotta get back on Hades. I was streaming my first time playing the game. Yeah, I mean, Hades is fun. I like Hades a lot, and I think they did a really good job of just telling a really, really interesting story. Right? Even if the gameplay is difficult, You know, you're still getting new things every single time, and like I've failed, so I failed a lot when it comes to like the higher ascension type stuff. So, you know, I wish you luck on your journey. I hope you've been having fun. Shield best weapon IMO, but you know, that's all good. Then you got distracted. Same. All right. Shield is so good. I know. I love the shield. It's such a. I mean, I'm just like it just gives you more time to think. You know, being able to defend from attacks and then being like, you know, I can just do this instead, or like rush them down and like, you know, dash attack everywhere. It feels so meaty. I love how meaty the shield feels when you're just like being able to swing it around places. And like there's other stuff that you can do with it later. I don't know how far you've been into the game, but like there's like other shield stuff that you can do that I like as well. All right. We are done with celeb rose, luxury magicians. Now we can move on to, if this works. Okay, I see the issue now. I see. Celeb rose, rich magicians. Now this is, I think this is also a new Celeb rose fusion card, so that's why, you know, you get to see more of the artwork. It's all coming out a little bit more. I like it. I like this one a lot as well. Definitely a lot better than luxury magicians, and I think it just does more than the influencers as well. I think they are doing a really cool thing by combining a lot of the Celeb Rose cards together like this, and I hope they continue to do that with other combinations and stuff like that. I'd love to see more fusions, even if they aren't good. I feel like just rounding out the entire just like library, you know. Also forgot to mention the model so cute. Yeah, I'm actually, I love this model a lot. I'm glad that I, you know, quote unquote bit the bullet in terms of paying for this model. Like when I first saw it, I knew that I had to get it. I was like, this is such a cute thing, and like, you know, I love that it follows my mouse instead. I don't know, you can't really see my mouse in this screen, but like, you know, it follows my mouse, so it, like, you know, I don't have to use the camera, so I can use the camera for card openings. But then I found out my webcam sucks at recording cards, so I have to figure out something else when I want to do card openings. But yeah, I like this model a lot. It feels a lot more active, so this is probably going to be what I use moving forward quite a bit. So yeah, I'm glad that I got it, but it's definitely no regrets on this one. Poor level 5 Celeb Rose is left without a paired fusion. That's okay. They can just they can match with someone else, and then we can just have more fusions with all the girlies together. We're not gonna, no girly left behind, as they say. All right, that, or they somehow add another Celeb Rose monster, like a higher level Celeb Rose. I don't know. That, I feel like that's a little bit too much there. It's so bouncy. Yeah, I know. Wow, look at that. No, it's really good. Yeah, it's maybe Warlock with Fabulous. I could see that. I mean, I can see any of the pairs coming together, honestly. If I'm being honest, I feel like there's no shortage of combinations that they could make at this point. Did I move it? Oh, I haven't moved it yet. Where did I put the other ones? Yeah, this is probably mid B for me. I think that makes sense. It's better than influencers, definitely better than luxury. Yeah, I think that's fine. All right, next up is, where are we at? Charismagic Elegant Change. Now, I only realized recently, I don't know why I didn't piece it together, that this is supposed to be like charisma magic, like, you know, Riz magic elegant change, basically, right? Like that. I cannot believe I didn't realize that until now. I feel a little silly, but yeah, I didn't put two and two together. I was like, what is Karis? Like, what is going on here? But yes. Crazy how the Celebros girlies get better treatment than their 7th road counterparts. This is true. But also, actually, no, I'm not gonna say because Celebros has a evil loop combo that basically renders you useless, because they could have given that to someone else. They could have given that to 7th road, but yeah, I think it's just recency. I don't know. 7th road got its time to shine. It was the entire deck of the protagonist. So yeah. Yo, Red Eyes reveal? Are you serious? Hold on. Okay. Not even effect wise, they get fusions too. That is also true. I gotta finish the sticker design. Look out for food, so I'll be looking. Thank you. Thank you. And yes, please enjoy your food, enjoy your time. Thank you for lurking. Thank you for rating it to me. I greatly appreciate it. Charis is a Greek goddess of beauty and charm. Yeah, that's why I didn't think about it too much when I thought about like the Charis. I was like, yeah, that sounds very regal like. That's definitely something that people would use. But yeah, I didn't think that it was like a whole other thing. Hold on, where is this thing that you're talking about? The OCG got Red Eye support? Holy shit, we willed it into existence! Oh my god, hello? We actually willed this shit into existence. Oh my god, I love the support cards. Hold on. Sorry. You guys cannot see this. Hold on. Let me move this. Yeah, oh my god. How do I want to do this? I guess this is fine, right? Yeah, just Twitter. Yeah, okay, there you go. So where is this showing up? Time Magician, on the braid, yada yada. +1 expansion pack. Okay, so I don't understand where this... okay, I see. We are going back to the basics. They're like, what gave us money? Konami's like, what put us money in here? The Dark Magician cards. I need to hide this. Hold on, sorry. Okay, there you go. Yes, Konami's like, okay, we gotta go back to Duel Monsters era. That's what gave us the money. We're gonna feed off of the Yugi boomers once again. And so they are just putting the anime characters back on the packs once more. Honestly, good idea. I think this is how you're gonna have to do it from now on. Like we're gonna see an entire one more year of Duel Monster era slop. You know? This is where we're at. But let's go back. I want to... Oh no, this is not the right page. Okay, so let's look at these cards. I'm not translating them. They are advanced format stuff that's not really in my wheelhouse. But I do like the art style. I do like how these are all throwbacks to Battle City stuff, right? Like, this is so cool that they did that. And they did it this way. Like, man... I get it. Yeah, this is very much Joey-centric and not Red Eye-centric. But they do get the Red Eyes, was a transcendent dragon or whatever. That's really cool. I mean, they're doing the thing again where it's like, it's a dragon, you gotta put up the wings and everything that I was complaining about for the past like 30 minutes. But like, that's really cool. That's really, really cool that they decided to do this. Is it going to be good? I have no idea. I do not read Japanese, and even if I could, I would not be able to translate this. My Japanese is not that good. But we got like Time Wizard stuff with the other cards. What are special about these cards that they're showing back here? Also, why are these cards gray? What's going on? There's Pump King. I assume these are cards that have, I mean, this is the not Dark Magic Attack, but the other thing. What are these cards for? What is the significance? And then we have the dice. That's cool. Then we're bringing dice back. Let's go. Scapegoat. Gravedigger with the foolish burials. And then we got the little surprise box. I forgot the actual name of this card before. Advanced format kind of reheated Rush's Nachos with the whole retraining Joey's cards thing. Yeah, kind of. I mean, we got the whole dice all the dice cards that kind of stemmed off of retraining Skull and Graceful Dice, which I think was really cool. I think it was a really cool way to do that, to be able to make the dice become a full thing instead of, just 2 cards. I like that a lot. The Fusion Wave Motion. Oh, okay. The thing that unites them all is Time Wizard. You know what? I'll accept that as a viable response to that. Let's see. There's a lot of cards that appeared in Battle City. Yeah, exactly. Right. These are all like I think almost all of them. Right. All of these were seen in Battle City, and like these are some of the ace cards that his opponents had in Battle City. Right. Like these are it's such a cool way to decide to do that. Right. Is it the same background though? That is kind of unfortunate if true. It looks like to be the same background, but the colors are a little bit different with the top 2 compared to the bottom 2. But like, yeah, I mean, that's fine. I don't really care. I mean, it's just to show that they're all thematically within the same thing, right? Like Rush did basically the same thing when it comes to like the retrains of like the Protorions and the Curse of Dragons and stuff like that for all the ritual support. So, that's basically what Rush did. So I can't fault them for that. That is just a overarching motif that combines all the cards together. Boom. Take that, AP Language Arts. We already have Dice Support and Rush Duel, the extension to Epoch. Yeah, exactly, right? Like, I feel like the whole, Graceful Dice, Skull Dice into its own theme, into its own actual Rush Duel original theme was a really cool way that they did that. I wish they would do that more, but that takes a lot of time and a lot of effort. It's fun to see Atem being his Duelist Kingdom cards, and now Joey mentioning Battle City. Exactly, right? Like, that's a really cool thing that they did here, right? I don't know how good these cards are going to be or what their effects are, but, like, that's really cool that they decided to do it this way. I think that's a really... I think that's a really smart way if they want to continue pandering to, DM era fans, right? And, like, if this is a really good Red Eyes card, then we don't have to worry about it anymore. We won't have to worry about people having to complain that, Red Eyes got all the love and Rush duels. Maybe they gave Red Eyes a really good card here. I just cannot tell you that. But all right. Very cool. I like that. I like that a lot. Good for Joey. I'm glad that they are just gonna go through all of the main DM cast. It would be wild if they decide to do Tristan, Anzu, or Taya, or Mai, and do that. Oh, they're gonna make a Mai pack. They have to make a Mai pack, right? There's no way they don't. But they also have to make a Kaiba pack, right? Guaranteed Kaiba pack. Probably a Mai pack. There's right, or would they put Harpy support and just something else? A Pegasus pack, but they just did Toon support, so I don't know if they're really going to give Pegasus a pack either. Who else? They're not going to give Tristan the pack. What the hell did Tristan play? Could they do Merrick and then do like new Egyptian god support? Is that okay? Is that something that people would be interested in? Right? What else? They already did Yugi. They're doing Joey. Who else am I missing? They're not gonna do... Yeah, I don't think there's anyone else that's big. Would they do Grandpa pack? No, they already did the no, because they have the what's it called? That they have a deck already. I forgot what it was. Merrick could, yeah. I think Kaiba and Merrick as like the two main villains would be able to get their own sets, and they could just do 4. I don't know if they really want to spend a whole year doing DM era stuff. I say that, but that could be possible. That's not the worst thing that I've heard. The Grandpa Act. Yeah, exactly. Solomon Muto support. Yeah, I mean they've already kind of done that. That's why I'm like not expecting it anymore. Harpy support will be good enough to be just as powerful as Rochelle offers when the structure deck and additional support afterwards, i.e. 5th anniversary pack. Yeah, I don't know. That's why I'm like Harpies maybe, but I don't know. I don't know if they like Harpies are great, but I feel like Rush Duels has really milked the Harpy ladies. Like we have done so much to support the Harpy lady agenda here that I don't know if advanced format should get anything. No, that's a lie. I think they should get something new, but like I don't know. I feel like they've gotten enough here. I don't know how many times you want to repeat stuff. If they did, because Joey's Battle City, if we're thinking about arcs and DM, yeah, right. Like outside of Duelist Kingdom and Battle City, there aren't a lot of the other arcs that happen afterwards aren't as memorable, right? Like Seal of Orichalcos was like good, but I don't know if it really gets to be standalone. And like they're already getting Seal of Orichalcos support, so I don't think they're gonna somehow flesh out even more Seal of Orichalcos stuff. And like the final arc I don't think counts. Oh my god, Capsule Monsters? What if they did an entire thing? Like, what if they added Capsule Monster support, bro? That would be so sick. They made a bunch of cards around the Capsule Monster somehow. That would be so dumb. That would be so dumb, and I would laugh my ass off if true. Little Yugi, I feel like they kinda already did that recently, right? Like, didn't Silent Magician and all them get retrains into a deck already? Like, didn't they do this with the Millennium box or whatever, that they got the retrains of the Dark Magician girl that then you can get the other Dark Magician and then they do the other stuff together? And I don't remember. I don't know all the decks, man. I don't play Advanced format enough to remember. But there's a deck like that exists that came out recently. I'm not lying. This is a real thing. I just don't remember what the archetype is called. It is Millennium something, right? Like that has to be the case. Okay. Let me get back on track. Actually, yeah, but now in Overframe. I see. This is a true statement. Okay. All right, let's do a few more and then we'll probably end stream. Soon-ish. I think that should be fine. Maybe I'll actually raid someone. Who knows? Maybe I'll actually. Probably only a Twitch raid though. I don't know how to do it on YouTube. I don't even know if I'm allowed to do it on YouTube. I don't know if I put that option on. I keep forgetting to do a bunch of stuff for YouTube, so I'll have to look. I'll have to figure that out. I know I can do it on Twitch because I've done it before, but since we got a raid, it's only fair that we continue moving the people along. All right, let's do one more and then we'll end things off. Which one were we on? Yes, Kara's Magic. We'll put you here. I think that's fine. And then, actually, we have Sidras next. Yeah, let's do the Sidras real quick. Where are my... Here it is. Alright. Chimera Tech Crush Dragon. This is a beastly card. I feel like it is huge. However, it does fit a lot of its stuff already in the frame. Like, literally, I can count on my hand the amount of places that this card actually leaves. It's like physical body leaves the frame. Like, I will, like, 4 times, 5 times. That's not enough. Everything else is lightning and light rays. It's a cool looking card, but for an overrush rare, it's not that exciting. However, what is exciting is probably the next card that we have here is the Chimera Tech Overdragon. Chimera Tech Overdragon, I feel like, you know, they could have made this bigger. They really could have made this bigger. This is not a perfect zoom and enhance in my opinion, but they could have done more here. I'm not a big fan of just like, you know, everything's still fitting in the frame. You have the opportunity to give this a bit more size, and they're like, zoom in 110%. That's it. This is unfortunate. It's a very unfortunate low C tier card. It's not D tier. High D tier card. We'll put one in the D tier for the fans. All right, that's all the Chimera Techs. We do have the rest of the Cyber Dragons are later on. I think this is somehow back in alphabetical order, so we'll leave that for another day. But with that, this is all we've gotten through for day 2. I feel like we somehow got through less cards. Did I talk too much this time around? Maybe I did. But on this chance, it's going to take like 4 or 5 days. That's not great. I want to actually do other things as well, but I also want to get this done so that I can post it, maybe make a video off of it later. But yes, this is what we have. No new S tier ads. We did get a few in A tier, which is great, but a lot of them fell in the B and C tier, which is not terrible. C's get degrees and B's are higher than C's. And we only had like a couple of D's, but you know, overall, on average, I feel like they did a pretty good job this time around. Anyway, that'll be it for me today. It's called the Sarcophagus of Light. Thank you. Yeah, that's the archetype name. Yes. Blue Eyes and Red Eyes probably killed it. Oh, goodness. Yeah, I mean, we got a lot of cool stuff coming in the future. So yeah, I'll probably see you guys next week, next Wednesday. I did win the lottery to get the new Riftbound card, so I will be opening that up probably with Chime when she gets hers, so we can do another pack opening battle, or you know, as it's colloquially called, the pack off, and then we'll be able to see all the cool Riftbound stuff. Then we can do that, and then if that's not on a Wednesday, then Wednesday we'll come back and finish this and talk about new cards. All right. With all of that in mind, let me figure out how to go into a raid. Oh, I have to mute my Twitch stream. That would help. All right. I would like to raid Aqua. I have to spell it right, or else it might not let me do it. But they're a VTuber that I have been enjoying watching their streams. They do a weekly collab series with another VTuber. They call themselves Hosteroid. They've been playing one of my favorite games, Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright. But right now they are playing Power Wash Simulator 2, Power Wash and Chill. So if you are here for some chill vibes, then hopefully there'll be some good times over there. So I'm going to send you guys over there. Thank you all so very much for watching. Which again, thank you, Mapo. Thank you for rating into me. Thank you for everyone who did stop by to watch and everything like that. I will hopefully see you guys next time with something more Rush Duel, I guess, or card openings. Who knows? But yes. All right. Hopefully this works. If it doesn't work, I'm gonna be really sad. This worked perfectly. Let's go. All right, I got 10 seconds. Watch my new video. It just came out. It's about the Spark Cards deck. If you're interested, Sparks now does 700 damage. All right, bye.